Eddie, a card player, convinces 3 friends to pool funds for a high-stakes poker game against local crime boss Hatchet Harry. Harry cheats and Eddie loses, giving him a week to pay back £500,000 or hand over his father's pub. Desperate, Eddie and his friends wait for their neighbors to rob some drug dealers and then in turn, rob them. After both thefts, the number of interested criminal parties increases with the 4 friends in dangerously over their heads. Welcome to another feature presentation of Midnight Double Feature, and on this episode, we'll be covering 1998's Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, directed by Guy Ritchie. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another feature presentation of Midnight Double Feature! On tonight's episode, we're going to be covering Lock, Stock, and Two Fucking Smoking Barrels, but the bacon to my Eddie, the Tom to whatever the other guy's name is, Zoheb Ali. How are you doing, buddy?
Wow, you have a good handle on this.
I have a tenuous grasp at best.
Yeah, I'm good, dude. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I am fucking pumped to get into this goddamn movie. I'll tell you that. Like, I gotta admit, I had not seen this movie in a long time, and as soon as I watched it, I was like, that might be in like my top 25. And I was like, oh my God, I forgot how fucking good this is. Like, it's brilliant. Everything about it is just so, I love it. But
it's outstanding. I'm like the reason. Okay, let's give some context. The reason we're sitting here covering Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, this is your choice. Like, this is your pick. You got 2 in a row.
Oh, yeah, I did.
60 Seconds and Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, all because of a shit fucking on-air bet that we had on Gone in 60 Seconds.
It's some amateur shit.
But honestly, I'm just glad that you chose a good movie this time. I'm just glad that you chose a good movie this time, dude.
Well, because just to let some people, before Gone in 60 Seconds, I think I said Darkness Falls, which is a terrible, like, early aughts, like, very nostalgic.
I thought you made it up. It sounded like such a made-up title.
But then so does Memphis Range from Gone in 60 Seconds, and so have, like, both eye sockets for just, like, twitching. But guys, before we jump to the episode proper, if you want to find us on any of our socials, we're on Facebook at Midnight Double Feature. We have the group attached to that called the After Party. You can find us on Twitter at MDF Pod or on Instagram at Midnight Double Feature. Shoot us an email, midnightdoublefeature@gmail.com. Let us know how you're doing. If you have any criticisms or if you have any suggestions or requests, I'd love to hear them. Also, rate and review us on iTunes. Let us know how we're doing. Please check out our Patreon. We've been plugging that a lot lately. We've been chugging along doing that. It's been a lot of fun. You can find us at patreon.com/Midnight Double Feature. You also find everything on our website, midnightdoublefeature.com. And we also have another podcast we just started up not too long ago called Bad Crystal. It's a baking bread podcast. It's a Breaking Bad podcast.
Oh, God.
The whole premise of the show is that I have never watched Breaking Bad before, and Zoheb has seen it. I don't know, probably as many times as how many times was Elvis married? Like,
yeah, quite a bit.
But
and then I died on the toilet.
Yeah, exactly. He died on the toilet eating a sandwich. But he's seen it a shit ton. I've never seen it before, so he's kind of leading me like the blind, through the fucking first season so far. So we're excited. If you guys want to check that out, again, that's called Bad Crystal. But all that bullshit out of the way, jumping into Lock, Stock, and Two Fucking Smoking Barrels. Give me your history on this. Like, you told me you had seen it before. It had been a long time ago. Like, did it leave a lasting impression? Because you said you had to buy it. And I was like, okay, so it tells me he doesn't, we don't talk about the episodes a lot off the air, like before we get to the mic. So it's like, okay, I got my pad out. I got like my top hat on. I've got I'm like a gumshoe detective. I'm like, okay, so he doesn't own it. Okay, got it. And I was like, he hasn't seen it in a long time. So like, what did you first see it? Like, what was your experience with it?
Yeah. Look, so yeah, I had seen this before. I mean, surprise, surprise, an old movie that I have seen before.
I was going to say.
But I mean, look, I was born by this point, so it's not that old.
I say I was 8 when this was made, so I mean, I can't bust your
5.
balls.
Yeah. So look, man, I don't know what spurred me to watch this back in the day. And when you like, before we hit record right now, you were like, man, I haven't seen this in like a decade. And that might be accurate for me as well.
Yeah.
Like, I think I was 16 when I first saw this, because I remember being just like in high school, like I think finishing high school, and I think I rented it. I don't know. I can't remember the first time I saw this movie, but I definitely remember watching it. And like as I'm watching this again for the podcast, I remember there being a heist. That's what I remember. Like I remember there being some kind of robbery, but I just can't remember how it went down or what the situation was or the context of it all. Like this is a movie that's really, if you don't watch it for a long time, it's easy to confuse it with something else, right? Like I haven't seen the movie Snatch, but I know that it's similar to this.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't seen Rock and Roller, but I know that it's similar to this. Like Rock and Roller is another Guy Ritchie
I was
movie.
going to say, I've never even heard.
Right. Dude, I've seen The Gentleman very recently this year.
Okay.
Which is Guy Ritchie's most recent movie. And honestly, if it had like film grain, like because this you can see the grain in this, dude, like the little the film like particles. Do you see it? Like it's kind of like
especially when it's real dark, I can tell.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, if they added film grain to The Gentleman, I would get this and The Gentleman totally mixed up because they're very similar. Like this is Guy Ritchie's kind of like bread and butter. Like, it's kind of like this like old school, not even old school, like it's very modern, but like it's the seedy underworld of Britain, of London or England or wherever the fuck they are. I don't know.
Somewhere. Yeah. Like East London or something.
Yeah. But not only that, like the dialogue is absolutely so like snappy and witty. The way he decides to reveal things when they're revealed, the way he just kind of like chucks characters in there and like for like a good half an hour is making it like the audience question, how are these people like connected?
Yeah.
Like, how are they interrelated? And then like as the course of the movie plays out, it's like, oh, okay. Like, this person is that person, this person is that person, this person's after this person's after that. It honestly really made me feel like, especially this time around, like I was watching Pulp Fiction. This feels like a Tarantino movie, dude. Like honestly, the way the dialogue, especially like the dialogue is so Tarantino. And I'm just, man, I'm watching this and I'm just like, it sucks what happened to Guy Ritchie. Like, like he's not this witty or snappy anymore. I mean, he went on to do Aladdin, and I don't love that. I don't love that movie.
Yeah.
But I think The Man from U.N.C.L.E. is super underrated. I think his 2 Sherlock Holmes movies are actually really good.
Yeah, they're good.
And The Gentleman was actually a nice surprise this year. Dude, that came out this fucking year. That is insane to me. I feel like I watched that 5 years ago. Fucking COVID, dude. But yeah, man, like I really honestly was trying to rack my brains as to when I first saw this, and I think it was 16 years old. And even then, I think I'm confusing it with something else because parts of this felt new to me as I'm watching it. I was like, all right, I definitely haven't seen this, but most of it was like I feel like I've gone down this road before. Like like I feel like I've experienced like this kind of like, everything goes wrong at this particular moment. Everything goes right. It's very plot heavy. It's very convoluted, but if you stick with it, it's so rewarding. Like, it is just a movie that just gives back to the audience. It's like at the end, it's like, thank you for sticking with me. I know we've taken you guys down some like some weird roads, but we hope you had fun. And by the end of the hour and 47 minutes or whatever it is, it's just so fulfilling. It's a fantastic pick, and I'm excited to cover it.
Hell yeah, dude. I honestly, I think I was about the same. I was probably between like 15 and 20 the first time I saw it, probably closer to 15, but it's probably
were those the lost years when you were like just hitting the heroin, hitting the pipe, and you just like lost your,
I mean, it was the start of it, but I mean, it hasn't ever really ended.
What's that in your right hand, Colin? What's that in your right hand?
It's a gun. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, I think it was around this time that I saw this, and then probably Boondock Saints, and then like Reservoir Dogs, and I was seeing these kind of like, I guess like what people where I'm from would call like these cult like movies, even though Boondock Saints I guess is a cult movie, but that's huge. It's a huge like franchise now, like not as much as it was, but still, anyways, like it was around the time.
All 3 of those movies you mentioned, like including this, it's like they're very similar in that it's criminals as heroes, right? It's criminals as protagonists, and like you don't like. I think around this time, the late 90s, it was just kind of like everywhere, like that's not. It wasn't really like established at that kind of time. Like before this, we didn't really get the seedy underworld of like all these like cities, like, like Reservoir Dogs might be LA, like this is London. So, like, I don't know, like, just, I don't think that was, like, really common to have, like, bad guys as your heroes kind of thing. And I think Tarantino and this movie really attributed to that.
Yeah, well, I mean, and if you did, you had, like, he said he would leave the life, but he's been made to come back. It makes me think of that Parks and Rec. Like,
is that called in 60 seconds?
Bobby Newport. Yeah.
Bobby Newport.
Bobby Newport. No, that's kind of what I was thinking when you were talking about that. But there's something interesting. Yes, like protagonist is criminals, but also not shooting it like you could make a movie where the protagonist is a criminal, but it's fucking something like Taken, Boondock Saints, Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, even like Edgar Wright's early stuff. Like this feels very much like Spaced. Like it has that same late 90s kind of feel and England kind of thing. Like obviously not the same kind of, style or a similar style, but not the same subject matter. But the thing that about this is the fact that it's shot in a way where like it's way more stylistic. There's not a lot of action. Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, Boondock Saints, there's actiony moments, but they're very few and far between. And it's like the characters that you're kind of hanging around the movie for. And especially with this, the thing that I like about it is that it's very stylistic. All of those movies, with the exception of Boondock Saints, feel like a music video. And so a lot of Edgar Wright stuff feels like good music. I love music videos. I'm not saying that in a derogative way, but like Pulp Fiction, how much stuff is set to they had a teenage wedding in the old foot. Everything is set to fucking Mr. Lou. And like you can think of Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, that's Tarantino though.
Yeah. But it's the same thing with like Edgar Wright as I think of Don't Stop Me Now. And all I think of is Shaun of the Dead. And then in this movie, I was like, well, I don't know any of these songs because they're probably not by very big artists, but I was like, there's a couple of them that I picked up on, but then I started watching the making of this, and this whole movie was edited by a guy who's like famous for doing music videos. And I was like, oh, of course, that makes sense. Like, it just feels like everything is edited and directed to like a clip. There's this energy and there's this like boom, 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 like throughout all those movies that I really love. So it was around this time that I was watching this, and I think I watched it with a buddy of mine. I think it was Johnny. And Johnny and I watched it, and he was real big into like ska and reggae, and so was I because I actually grew up with a brother who was in a ska band. So I grew up listening to shit like, the Specials and, like a lot of English like ska bands, which I'm sure you're looking at me just like, yeah, like no, he's like, I don't fucking know.
You lost me. I'm going to crawl right into bed right over there.
See, I'm not a huge fan of reggae music, but I love ska, like Real Big Fish and shit like that. Like, ska music, it if you heard it. But the thing about that I loved about this is like the seedy crime underworld with like ska music and like going to the pub and living in a shitty apartment. And I was like, man, this movie feels like your early 20s just wrapped up in like a little bow. So it was perfect for me around that time to watch it. And watching it now, even though I haven't seen it in forever, I was like, man, I can't think of something in this movie that I was just really like, that's bullshit, that's fucked up.
It really doesn't have like a weak kind of like element, dude.
Yeah,
like,
you could say the plot gets a little, okay, what? Like, try taking fucking...
I love the caper, dude. I love the whole caper element of it. Like it's so good.
It's awesome till you take fucking notes for that shit, and you're like, oh my god.
Oh, dude, I'm watching this movie, and I was like, poor Colin, like poor fucking Colin, dude. Like that is intense. Like I don't know how long your notes are, but again, I don't. Like I was like laughing, dude. Dude, this movie is fucking hilarious.
Yes,
It's honestly like on the level of Pulp Fiction hilariosity to me. Like, like
dude,
Pulp Fiction I think is hilarious. But
I think this is so much funnier than Pulp. Like,
really?
Dude,
okay.
Where he's like, your stupidity is about the only thing that's keeping you alive. He's like, huh? Don't me, Nicholas. I was like, oh my god, dude. It's so like but the thing is, the humor is not out front. It's a crime movie with very humorous elements. Like they treat the humor not like bullshit sitcom humor, like Edgar Wright would treat the comedy part of a zombie movie. It's there and it's full throttle. They're not pulling any punches on that. Like I wouldn't. It's even fucked to be like, oh, it's a crime comedy film, and it's like because it feels like you're putting crime above comedy, and it's like honestly I feel like they're so neck and neck. I feel like this is just as much equally a comedic film as it is like the heist is just four dudes waiting in a room. Like it's not really a heist movie. I mean it is, but I don't know.
Well,
like
honestly, I had expanded that in my mind because, you know, again, it's been 10 years since I've seen this. So like I thought that the heist was so much more planned out. Like I thought it was like you know, Jason Statham being like, all right, we're gonna get a couple of guns. We're gonna set up shop. Yeah, literally. We're gonna set up shop here. Go, Bacon, you do this, you do that, and then we'll come together in the end. Right. Let's go fuck some bitches. Like, I thought that's what was it. Like, I honestly did not.
Jason Statham.
I'm Jason fucking Statham, mate.
I have a huge dick.
It only took us 17 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
I was wondering when this was going to happen. And when are you going to talk about the fact that Dexter Fletcher's in this movie?
Fuck, that's what I was hoping. I was like, did you look up the cast of this? And you were like, no. I was like, excellent, because I did not know that.
I knew Dexter Fletcher was in this movie. I'm not a fucking moron.
I didn't know that was him because I had never until I heard like, okay, so some guy named Dexter Fletcher is taking over for Bryan Singer in Bohemian Rhapsody. I was like, who is Dexter Fletcher? I don't know who that is. And then I was like, oh, the guy that directed Rocket Man. And then I started looking and I was like, oh shit, like the guy that's in this, I think like Wallace is his name, the main pothead. He is Elton John's dad in Rocket Man. And I was like, oh fuck. And I was like,
nice.
Jesus. I started looking. I was like, I had no idea that was Dexter Fletcher. I had no clue because that's just not like a household name here. For me at least, I'd never heard his name before.
Yeah, I'd never. I mean, like before. But I mean, just looking at his like resume, dude, he's been in some shit. Like as an actor, like Band of Brothers, apparently had a massive part in.
Damn.
There's a movie called Layer Cake. Like that was Matthew Vaughn's, I think, one of his first movies. Who, by the way, Matthew Vaughn produced this.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. Yeah, like Dexter Fletcher was in Kick-Ass. What is happening, dude?
I don't remember him in Kick-Ass at all.
Neither do I. Who did he play? I have no idea. That's insane.
But yeah, I mean, and I don't know. This movie just has not aged for me at all. Like maybe some of the soundtrack stuff because it's, you know, late 90s kind of shit. But even that was around the time I was growing up with that stuff, and it doesn't really bother me. So, and that's one thing is the fucking cast in this, dude. Like you can't. A lot of these people were. I mean, I don't want to say like all of these people were just starting off, but like a lot of these people were kind of just like starting to, especially Jason Statham. And at the same time, you know, Jason Fleming, like, you know, I think they said Jason Statham was like selling fake perfume on the corner. And Guy Ritchie was like, dude, you have a knack for this shit. Like, I think you should come be a part of this movie. And I was like, that's fucking crazy. And they're like, you know, he'd done some modeling and stuff, but a lot of these people like,
all right, I'll make your fucking movie.
Yeah, right. All right, I'll fuck your wife. And he's like, I know how. Hold on.
By the way, Jason Fleming, we just talked about him recently. He played Azazel in First Class, X-Men First Class.
Oh, fuck. I forgot that's him. I keep thinking everything I see that, I'm like, oh, it's Doug Jones. Cool. Like, it's Doug Jones.
Anyway, hey, quick question. Did you hear about who saved this movie?
Tom Cruise.
Yeah, fuck. God damn it. That's one each. Yeah, so I'll just tell the story real quick. So, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels had a hard time getting a distributor, right? Like, so it was like, came when, like, apparently there was a special screening that was being held in the US. Vaughn got in touch with one of the investors, Trudy Styler, and he asked her to contact Tom Cruise, who she knew. And he attended like an American buyer screening, and he watched the movie, walked out, and he said, he got up in front of everyone and he said, "This is the best movie I've seen in years. You guys would be fools not to buy it." It's just kind of crazy, dude. Like that, it's Tom Cruise that saved Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
It's very strange when you start reading that. Like Lucille Ball, she saved Star Trek, like back in the first couple of years. Like, I remember. Dude, what the fuck? Like that's
Gene Roddenberry.
Yeah, I was like, that's so insane. And I think, let me double check because I don't want to be speaking at a school, but I think that she was married to Trudy Styler. I think, isn't she married to Sting? Yeah, Styler met rock musician Sting while she was at the blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so they were married in 1992.
Nice.
Yeah, because I remember seeing, I was like, yeah, because this movie, like Sting hadn't really been in a bunch of, I mean, he was in like Dune, you know, and he randomly pops up in stuff, but like Sting, and then Jason Statham, Vinnie Jones, Jason Fleming had done like a little bit of stuff. They said Dexter Fletcher was the one who had just done so much shit already. Like he was in so much stuff by 98. And the guy I want to talk about is Lenny Mclean.
Yes, I know. I was about to talk about him as well. Man,
did you read?
I was like,
go for it.
Yeah, no. I was just like, because I'm watching this movie and I'm just like, man, this guy's fucking killing it.
White like Michael Clark Duncan, holy shit.
Dude, 100%. Like, he's so intimidating.
If you don't want to be counting the fucking toes. Like, Jesus Christ, man.
He's so, like, intimidating, and just the way he's able to do his line reads, dude, it's so good. And I was like, man, what else has this guy been in? Nothing else. Like, I haven't... Like, this is his last movie.
He died.
Like, that is
it didn't
insane.
even come out. Like, he died before this ever even hit theaters and shit. And I was like, damn.
That's crazy, dude. Like, it just... it sucks because I dead set thought I had seen this guy before, and maybe it was in my previous watch.
Yeah, he's in the Fantastic Four. He's the Thing in the Fantastic Four. Now I will just read
like a combination of Michael Chiklis and just like Bigfoot.
I'll read you this real quick. Leonard John McLean was a English unlicensed boxer, bouncer, and bodyguard, businessman, and actor. He was known as the Governor and the King of Cobbles and the hardest man in Britain. McLean's pugilist reputation begins in the East End of London in the late 1960s and was sustained through the late 80s. He stated in his autobiography that he had been involved up to 4,000 unlicensed fights. In his prime, the 6'3" tall McLean weighed over 280 pounds or 20 stone or 130 kilograms and was considered the unofficial heavyweight champion of Great Britain. And I was like, that guy is almost my exact same size. I was like 6'3" and 280 pounds. And I was like, just stick my head on that guy. Seriously. And you have just about got it.
Man. He died at 49 years old of lung and brain cancer.
Yeah, it had already metastasized.
Apparently, he had like a bit of a criminal history. He was arrested for petty crimes while in his teens and served 18 months in prison. What? This is actual truth.
It's funny, dude.
Okay, but get this right. McLean was again arrested in 1992 after a man he ejected from a club died of injuries which were later determined to be caused by mishandling from the police officers who had arrested him after the ejection. Fuck.
So I was watching the making of this, and the guy who plays Nick the Greek was like, I was in a play once with a guy who and a lot of people apparently in, I guess, like, you know, this whatever part of Britain this takes place in, they were like, we knew who this guy was because he was a boxer and he'd done a little bit of acting, and now he's a bouncer. And the guy that plays, Mr. Breaker, Rory Breaker, the guy who plays Mr. Breaker, was like, I would walk up to the club and he'd be like, hey, and he'd be like, all right, go in. And he would just go, all right, come on, like, go in. But the Nick the Greek was like, I was in a play with this guy and he got thrown out and he gave some lip to him. He turned around and punched him and broke his jaw in 4 places. And I was like,
Jesus.
I was like, good God. And I was like, what a fucking monster, dude. He makes Harry the Hatchet look like a bit like just John Cleese looking motherfucker, dude. Like, get out of here. Like,
So
but I mean,
British.
that's British. I love this fucking movie. I love this cast, the soundtrack. I think the editing is just so good. Like the comedic parts of stuff are just so, it's like so well done with the editing. The editing is a joke in and of itself, like in a good way. It's got great comedic timing, but
that's Guy Ritchie though. I think he finds his movies a lot in editing, because if you watch The Man from U.N.C.L.E., even if you watch the Sherlock Holmes films, there is a lot of like post-production magicry that they do. Like there's a lot of like quick cuts and like, you know, even like the use of slow-mo. Like there's a lot of slow-mo in this, like surprisingly, because it's such an early movie. But like Sherlock Holmes uses slow-mo like crazy. Like, you know, when
all
he's
the
just
time.
like, yeah, he's in like the pen and like, you know, he's kind of like reading how he's gonna fight this dude. He's like, all right, you know, block this punch, like hit that leg or whatever. I don't know. Like, I think that's just kind of like Guy Ritchie's kind of like forte. Like the editing is so good. I love watching the editing in his movies.
Yeah, it's like he's Sherlock Holmes taking a shit, and it's like, and then he reaches for the toilet paper. It's like,
you just hear the sound of the fucking shit just hit the.
Hi, welcome back to Sherlock Holmes taking a shit for 48 seconds. It's a
you
short
didn't think
podcast.
You'd hear that on the Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels episode.
Man, I say we jump into this shit. If you're ready to go, I'm ready to go.
Let's get into it.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought you were like, no, hold on. Anyways, so yeah, when we open up in this movie, I wanted to like play this clip so bad of him be like, it's never seen a something or an Israelite. His line delivery.
You fucking dare! You fucking played 3 clips last week, and I have to fucking edit that in so you can fuck off.
I decided I was like, all right, no clips this week because there's so many lines. Oh my god, it's so easy to do. But yeah, this is what Jason Statham did. They said that's why he's so good at it. It's like, it's as long as my arm, which was as long as something else. Dude, he's like, you can buy one, take it to your woman, take it to another man's woman, but you'll end up paying a lot more than what it's worth. Like, his voice is he's got such a presence for that shit. He's unbelievable. He's like the best slow talking auctioneer ever, you know?
Man, I'll tell you what, I bought this movie, and even though I bought it, it didn't have English subtitles because, man, I had to listen real hard. I have no idea what these... I had no ideas what these limeys are saying, man. Like, I'm just like, what? Like,
dude,
I had to listen really closely. Yeah, it's got like every language: Danish, Dutch, Finnish, French. Like, fuck off! Just give me English, dude. This was made by an English director. Yeah. Like, I don't understand.
That's so fucking strange. But yeah, we're introduced to Bacon and Ed. Ed is good with cards, and Bacon is good at selling stolen goods, though he knows his days are numbered. I like this intro to them. Bacon, coppers, and they take off running and shit.
Yeah.
He's like, don't worry, just because these boxes are sealed that they might be empty. The old man who sells empty baskets is
I'm just going to leave my mic and just like Colin's going to be quoting the entire fucking movie.
Oh,
like,
it's so, dude,
it is super quotable. If I had seen this more times, I reckon I'd be able to quote this entire movie, dude. Like, this is so quotable.
His beginning is it's such a good way to start the movie, and just this whole, like, the slow-mo jumping down the stairs and the suitcase going everywhere. It's really stylistic.
And the voiceover. Like, I mean, the voiceover is so Tarantino. Like, you know, like just them, even later, like, I can't remember how they do it. Oh, the sunbed, right? So it's the shot where Vinnie Jones is like, we're not there yet. He's like intimidating the guy in the sunbed. Just that shot of like him opening up the sunbed. Yeah, the trunk shot. And I'm just like, this is so Tarantino, dude. This is like him wanting to do Reservoir Dogs. I know it is.
I like how you were like, yeah, we're not there yet. It's like, oh, no shit, we're not there yet? Yeah, so this is where we're introduced to, like I said, you know, Bacon and Ed, they're good with cards. One is good with stolen goods. He knows his days are numbered. Along the way is Tom, who's the entrepreneur of the group, and we meet Nick the Greek and the chef Soap. I like the fact they never say his name. I think Soap McTavish from Call of Duty. That's all I can think of.
Me too. Literally, me too.
What did you think of like the four?
Get to that Burger Town.
Yeah. What did you think of the 4 leads? Like, as you're like, and one thing I will say is, the first 15 minutes of this movie, we basically have every character, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time in the first 15. It's just, here's every single character and a reason to, honestly, like, you know.
Just watch the movie. Like, we are not here to fucking go through every single character and every single plot point. Like, why are we even podcasting about this? No, I'm kidding. No, the 4 leads are fantastic, dude. I think Nick Moran. So Nick Moran is the guy who plays Eddie. He's kind of like the leader, well, he's the one who gets into the strife with the poker. So like he becomes kind of like the guy who brings them all, like ropes them into this and starts this whole kind of like caper. But I think the 4 are fantastic, man. Like, just the way they play off each other, the interplay. Dexter Fletcher's great as Soap. Like, he's kind of like that cynical one. Like, he's kind of like the quieter, sort of like cynical. Jason Statham's a little more brash, you know.
He's the muscle. He's the muscle.
Yeah, he's the muscle. I think my favorite is Jason Fleming. Honestly, just the way he's like, the way he talks, dude. Like, he's so good. He's so witty. It's fantastic.
Fuck, I think I'll keep it. He's so good. He said that on this set. Jason Fleming was like, he's like, normally I'm like the harder kind of person on set. Like, I'm like the one who's been a little bit more gruff. He's like, on this set, I was like the puffiest, like Jeremy Irons motherfucker on this set. It was like everybody else was real like sketchy and had like a criminal history and shit.
And Fleming himself is like a pretty big like character actor, dude. Like, you know, like he pops up in a lot of shit. Like, he's been in The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. He played fucking Dr. Jekyll.
Yeah, that's how I was introduced to him.
Me too, dude, literally. But he was also in Transporter, where he was fighting Jason Statham, which is kind of crazy.
I didn't know. And then he's Benjamin Button's dad, right?
Yeah. He's in Benjamin Button. Yeah, absolutely. And we talked about X-Men First Class. And, he's definitely in a lot of stuff.
every time I look at him, I get this like, oh God, the guy that plays Vision, Paul. I get a Paul Bettany, like Alan Tudyk vibe from him that I just really like tall, lanky, redheaded English guys. When he actually just looks a hell of a lot like Doug Jones. No, I absolutely love him.
It all comes back to Doug Jones.
Everyone's Doug Jones.
It all circles around.
It could be. That's the fucked up part. It really could be.
This is Doug Jones in makeup. Oh, hey, I've been Jason Fleming this entire time.
Yeah, and I like they keep calling Tom fat, and he's like, dude, like, what the fuck? He's like, I'm not fat. I really like Nick the Greek. He might be one of my favorite characters in the whole movie. Like, I really enjoy like meeting him and the whole
constantly sweating.
Yes, well, he's constantly sweating and he's constantly smoking, and I'm like, dude, like, pick one. Like, Jesus Christ, man. But he's like, does it come with the speakers? And he's like, no. He's like, what about this? He's like, and it comes, and you can get anything you want as long as you're willing to pay for it. And I'm like, oh, that's such a good line. I love it.
Dude, I love him pulling out the stack of cash. And then Fleming's like,
Jesus Christ.
Well, the price has gone up. And Fleming pulls out his own fucking stack of cash.
The visual comedy is so good, like, so without saying anything. There's enough there to choke a dozen camels. He's like, what are you doing? You're not buying radios. You funded liberations or something like that. Like, so God, he's so good, man. But yeah, this is kind of where we're getting a rundown of stuff. And I assume, so Tom owns this grocery store. It never really pops up again. But remember, Soap's like, you sold me that produce that was shit, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, so Tom owns a grocery store. I guess he's a front for something. I have no idea. But there's something there's characters like Nick the Greek that I really like. There's the guy in the middle who doesn't take sides with anybody. It's all just business. Like, he's not related to, like, did you ever play the Darkness video game? Do you remember when that came out? The Darkness?
I remember it. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure I got a sequel too from memory.
Yeah, definitely. And it's a decent comic book. I've checked, I've watched some of it, or read some of it, but there's a guy in there like Benny the Butcher or something, and he just disposes of bodies, and he doesn't, he doesn't take sides. If you're whatever you are and you need a body taken care of, he's like, oh, okay, cool. I'll get rid of it. And I'm like, dude, that's who I would be.
He's a bit like, he reminds me of Vinnie Jones's character in this movie, right? Like, he doesn't have loyalty kind of thing. It's just like, I need to work, right? Like, I need to earn a living.
I like that. I like the people who keep the things kind of running in this seedy underworld where like people take sides and betray, and it's like you are like this. You are like a safe house in the middle of all this crazy shit. I really like that. Let me feel the fiber of your fabric. So many good lines. And yeah, as we're just kind of going in here, we're introduced to the boys. We're introduced to Nick the Greek. They're putting together $25,000 for a card game. I really like what he says. Like, can you afford 25? It depends on how you look at it. I can afford it as long as I see it again. I'm like, that is such a Tarantino line, dude. The boys each collect their $25,000 and call Harry the Hatchet to let him know it's on. We see Harry's associate, Barry the Baptist, and how he got his name. This guy's fucking terrifying, man. Like, he does such a good job.
Like drowning this guy. Oh God! Tell me his fucking name. You fucking pie.
Yeah, I like this. I like this introduction to him a lot. And then Harry the Hatchet, there is something like, what the fuck is going on with this guy's eye? Like, he looks like the guy at a Last Action Hero. Like, he's got that weird fucking crazy looking eye he's got. And maybe it's just not shot at the end, but yeah, I actually, this guy was supposed to be played by some other actor, because it's funny, when they started doing this movie, it was like a non-finance script is what Jason, not Statham, god damn it, the other Jason Fleming, thank you. Jason Fleming was like, I read it and I loved it, and it was the first thing I wanted to do, and then I realized it was a non-finance script, and I was like, well, okay, cool, call me when it gets done so I can be in this. And he's like, I didn't want to get excited because he's like, I can't tell you how many non-finance scripts I've done that just like completely fell through the roof. But he said it took them like another 2 years before they secured all the funding for this. And I was like, God damn, like, that's crazy. Like, sitting on this good of a script for 2 years, like, that's fucking nuts and not going anywhere. Like, that would terrify me.
$1 million. That's how much it costs.
Yeah. Like, dude, and your directorial debut is sitting on a shelf waiting for money. Like, and it's good, but it's like, that's so fucked up, man. Like, that's the studio system shit that like pisses me off of just, that's so annoying. But, anywho. So, yeah, and they go on to beat the Harry the Hatchet, who I just was like, oh, it's John Cleese. Cool. It's John Cleese. I don't care what his name is. His name's John Cleese.
I can't say John Cleese. Can you imagine John Cleese in this role, dude?
I actually can. I really fucking can. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
I fucking totally can. I love
Tell
where
you what
they
he's
live.
really good in. Fucking Rat Race. Have you seen Rat Race, dude?
Not
oh
in a
my God.
long fucking time, dude. Like,
so
Rat
good.
Racing, there's one he does called Scorched with like Alicia Silverstone and Woody Harrelson. It's not great, but it's a fun, like, find it on TV in the middle of the night, like kind of shit.
Tell you what, Faulty Towers is one of my favorite shows of all time.
You've told me about that because there was some woman in an episode before. You're like, she's in Faulty Towers, and I think she's in like Wolf or something.
Maybe. I think it might be Wolf.
Yeah.
That is such a good show, dude. You need to hit that up. It's hilarious.
I will. Any kind of British humor, like I would consider myself an Anglophile. Like I'm very much so into English shit. Like,
in fact, when we get off this episode, I'm gonna go back and watch that. Like it's so good.
I like immediately like hard cutting to the reggae music and the guy walking through the weed, and I was like, "Oh my God!" Like, it's so fucking heavy handed, man.
Hey, Nico, Wagwan.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me see here. Hard cut to the. Oh yeah. Let me see here. Back to Bacon and Ed flat. The boys count the money, and we. Oh yeah. So back at the flat, that's where they're counting all the shit, and we see like the neighbors next door. We're like, hey, these walls ain't so very thin, and that's where we get the premise, where we can hear through the wall. We move along. We're introduced to, and I'm going to call these the neighbors, the boys, and the weed men. And like the weed men, obviously the weed man, the neighbors, our boys, the boys. Like that's the best way to differentiate. Like, so they, and it's like, no. They will not cut it in this podcast. There's so many fucking groups.
You really need to delineate between the groups because there's just so much happening.
Chill, Winston! This Cracker Jack motherfucker, like,
who is this? Wait, who is this? This woman that he just brings back, the unconscious woman. He's like, you just bought back this woman, and you just bought a bag of fertilizer.
Alarm bells are ringing, Wallace.
Yeah.
I love to do this because this is so. He's like, could you be a little bit more subtle? What do you mean? We grow copious amounts of ganja, and he's like, yeah. I'm like, dude, I fucking laughed my ass off. He's such a fucking idiot, man. But basically,
this cage. I definitely remember this cage. Like,
it's
like,
clever.
It's clever. Yeah. Even this like watch around, I was like, okay, I know I've definitely seen this before because I remember this concept of the cage.
Well, you know that this film is made in Britain because in America they'd be like, it would be a bulletproof, like shielded up, like, no, a cage is not going to fucking work. But that's where we're introduced to the weed boys. They're growing a bunch of weed. They have some security problems. This is all good. I like this a lot. This is really, really funny. Moving right along, we're introduced to Big and Little Chris, who collect debt for Harry. I love the little kid. Fucking hell, John! That's so fucking funny, man. What did you think of Vinnie Jones in this? Jones. Like, this was besides,
I thought he killed it.
I think Gone in 60 Seconds was the first time I actually saw him in, but then like he has not. His choices since then have not been great. I don't think. I mean, since Juggernaut, really, like, and that's what sucks. He's probably wouldn't be a terrible Juggernaut, but he's just not. As far as athletes go, I mean, he's a good actor, I guess, for someone who's just. And they even said, when they were writing out his description, they're like, yeah, he looks like the football guy, Vinnie Jones. And somebody was like, Vinnie Jones is an actor, right? And he's like, well, hell, we'll do that. He's like, we'll just call him in. We don't have any fucking money. They said this budget for this movie dropped from 20 million to 800,000 pounds within 2 years. And I was like, oh, God damn, dude, that's a big fucking difference. What were they going to do with
$20 million? What? This script doesn't need $20 million.
No, it was the cast. And the cast was like, and versus now, you've built stars versus like wrangling them in, I guess.
Right, yeah. No, I really like Vinnie Jones in this, dude. Like, I think he's like, this is his first role, by the way.
Yeah,
like, he never worked before this. Yeah, and I think he really kind of like made his mark because like right after this was Gone in 60 Seconds, right? Like it was just like it was like boom and boom. I was first introduced to Vinnie Jones via X-Men, right? I mean, like, I was like Juggernaut. Like, that was the first thing I saw him in. I'm the Juggernaut, bitch! Like, if you're watching that, I know. If you're watching that as like a 12-year-old or 13-year-old, which is what I was, then that's going to leave a lasting impression. Like, it's like, who is this guy? Like,
Right.
But yeah, no, I think he does a great job in this movie, dude. Like, I think he's got the right level of humor. He's got the right level of kind of like intimidation as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just, dude, his head looks like it was carved out of a wooden block. Like, he's just got that.
He looks like Stonehenge with legs, like
literally. And that added wrinkle of like so this is something that's really popular with writers like Guy Ritchie and Tarantino. Their criminals need kind of like an eccentricity about them, like something strange to kind of like differentiate them from everyday criminals. And it's the son. It's the I'm going to dress my son in the exact same clothing and he's going to come along with me to intimidate everyone. Like that is such a original, I feel like such an original take on like a criminal or an enforcer kind of person.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that's so good.
I like that Big Chris has no shame about this. He's like, I collect debts. I collect debts. And I was like, oh, wow, I kind of like, I see what you mean there. I was like, that's interesting. Like, what you do is very different from what I do, but still interesting. Yeah, I love this whole introduction with Big and Little Chris. You can go home in a plastic bag, John. You pay what you owe what you owe, and by the time this tan is faded, you want to have paid. Like, oh, that's so fucking scary coming from him, man. And it's almost the exact same shot later when he's slamming that guy's head in the door. It's that same kind of shot.
So good.
I do have a funny story behind that as well. You can go home in a plastic bag. Back at the bar, we meet Ed's dad, motherfucking Sting. Like, do you listen to Police? Do you like Sting? Or are you a fan at all? Or you just, whatever?
I mean, I know of him. Like, that music's not my genre. That's not what I listen to, dude. Like, but yeah, I know of him.
Our co-host Danny, that is one of his absolute like favorite bands. He has like all their albums.
Oh.
Like, it's one of his fucking I know Danny loves Sting. Yeah, he says, you play cards with Harry tonight? Nope, not playing cards with Harry. All the while, they go straight to Harry's house, like right after this. I love this. And what do you think of Harry, like, being this fuck, like this cheating fuck, basically ripping Ed out of like all this money and shit? So Ed would have kicked this dude's ass.
Are we here? Are we at this scene? Because this is so good. Like this, whatever. All right, well, let's just talk about it anyway. Like, we'll skip over it when we do get to it. But like, I love it, dude. Like, this feels very much in the vein of like what a crime boss would do. Like, he's like, I made my millions cheating people and pretending to be like legitimate, like on the up and up, like and like it's so good, it's so fantastic, and it's just so good to watch. Like the device that they use, the little Morse code tapping thing. I'd seen that in Casino before I'd seen it in this. Like, it's pretty much identical. Like, it's like, strapped to his leg, blah, blah. But yeah, it's good stuff, man. Like, and I feel like that's what would happen. Like, in real life, like this guy's going to have some kind of insurance policy because he's not about to risk all of this money on this card game.
No, he won't even pay $250,000 for the shotguns. He's not going to give this kid $500,000. Like, there's no fucking way. Yeah, this is all good. I love him going to meet the guys to steal the shotguns. This is obviously another little group.
Antiques. What do we know about antiques?
Dude, this guy looks like British Brian Callen to me. That's like all I could think of was like Brian Callen. One thing I caught awesome. This time around is when they start talking about his dad's bar. No mortgages, no debt. And I'm like, why does he want to know about his dad's bar? And then immediately they're like, oh yeah, you'll lose your dad's bar. And it's like, fuck.
Security.
Like, that's crazy. He meets them at the shadiest looking strip club I can imagine. Barry hires two wannabe
in the background, dude. She looks like a realistic stripper because she does not look like she wants to be there.
No, she has this very like
like coked out of her mind kind of thing. Like, I have to be here.
She looks like she's just like on a boat, just going from side to side, just like
She's like, I just want to get done with my shift so I can take care of my little kid.
If I were dancing for these two fucking guys, I wouldn't put anything into it either. Like, oh, cool, $5, thanks, guys.
If I was dancing for these guys, dude, I'd be reconsidering my life choices. I'm like, where did I go wrong?
I'd be like, can I get some of that Coke? That's what I'm asking. No. Barry hires the two wannabe thieves named Gary and I hate this. Harry the Hatchet, Barry the Baptist, Gary. There's so many of these. Oh God, it's fucking annoying. He's like, who's the governor? One of these. It's one of them need to know things. Like, it's one of those need to know basic things, like James Bond. I hate these fucking Southern fairies, fucking northern monkeys. Like, dude, it's such a good line.
Dude.
I remember that line forever because it's so different in the South. Like, the South are these redneck monkey whatever, and then the uptight people live up like in the North. And I was like, oh, that's kind of funny. Yeah. I remember that from the first time I watched it.
If you're listening to this, you can weigh in on that.
I'd love, dude. If you just heard my door, like, You're like, oh, hello, Craig, come on in. It's like Mr. Rogers.
Oh, hello, sir. Do you have Earl Grey?
Yeah. No, but we do have whiskey. That'll work. Let me see here. Oh yeah. So this is where we're kind of getting onto our, our card game here. Ed has been playing cards since he could lift them up, and he soon discovered that he had a big advantage. It's not that he's good with cards or even good at counting them. It's that he's good with reading people's reactions, no matter how subtle. And everybody has reactions, especially when it comes to money. I love that. That is so good. Like, it's so fucking true, and it's so, it's such a good line. The boys walk up to Harry's.
I love it. I love a good dramatic card game in a movie. Like, like we were talking about this on Casino
I don't know
Royale.
shit about cards. I can't play for shit.
Oh, really? I can play. I love Texas Hold'em. Like, I mean, I've never lost a good amount of money on it or anything. Like, I think my friends and I used to play with just like $50 and whatever. But like,
good game.
Yeah. Like, I mean, our games used to go on for ages, dude. Like, we love getting down on Texas Hold'em. But yeah, like this is, I think a good director or a good filmmaker can really make a card game seem super interesting and super like, it's something that can be like totally boring otherwise, right? Like if someone doesn't know what they're doing when they're filming
watch it on ESPN.
Right. But I mean, like if they know what they're going for, man, because this is so compelling, like when he loses.
Yeah, it's gut wrenching, man. And I'm definitely. I could probably play like blackjack. I like playing blackjack because that's stupid simple.
21. Yeah.
Or like rummy. Rummy's really fun. I don't know if I haven't played that in years. But they rock up to Harry's and it's like, you got any invitations? He's like, 4 white pieces of paper with your name on. Now I got 100,000 with the Queen's face on it though. I was like, God, that's so good, dude. It's so fucking clever. Ed goes in, this guy talking to him at the door, his voice is so familiar, but I can't place him on anything. And I kind of looked him up. He didn't seem familiar, but I was like, dude, his voice is so fucking familiar. Ed goes in.
Can't tell you. I can't add anything to
that. Ed goes in. The boys. They go to the Samoan place next door. Go running past a flaming man. Again, just great timing, great physical comedy. They don't even. They just stop and look and go right in. It's so fucking.
Yeah, just the way that ends up coming back around as well, man. And like,
yes,
what is it? Give me a cocktail. And they give him like this fucking shit. This bartender's so good.
You could fucking fall in love with an orangutan in there. Take this away. Bring me a diet Coke. Like that's almost like a Zap Brannigan line. Take this away, Kip, and bring me a Diet Coke. Sorry. And this is also where Gary and Dean begin their high stealing the shotguns. Aren't you gonna put your mask on? I've spent 220 quid on my hair. I couldn't even do that.
He's got this like crazy perm going.
I fucking dude, I was taking a sip of like a LaCroix, and I was just like, I fucking laughed so hard. The boys meet Rory Breaker at the bar. It's kind of cutting back in between. Gary and Dean get shot at while burning people's toes, and Ed begins his game. All three of these at the same time. He's like, what are you doing? I want them to tell me where they keep the money. It's so fun. He's like, every time we break into a place, you have to burn people's toes. It's like, it reminds me of Harry and fucking Home Alone. He just keeps clogging people's sinks. That's like all I could think of.
I'll tell you what I love, man. It's that shot of them like going up the stairs, and you see the 2 pairs of feet.
Yeah,
and then you get that third like kind of like pair of feet with the socks on. And it's just like, whoa, that is cool. Like that is just such a great way of letting the audience know that, hey, this is not going to go down the way they think it is.
Well, and he blows his perm off too. That's so fucking funny, man. It's such a great visual gag.
The comic like comedic kind of like hole that it makes, like the semicircle, so good.
And yeah, this is where Ed begins his game. This is like the montage of Harry being a cheating shit. We've already kind of touched on this. I love the woman like who's basically hosting this game. She seems like such a tough fucking lady, dude. She's awesome. Me, dude. Yeah, I like it, dude. She could be such a lady, but she'd pull a fucking rusty knife on you in like a heartbeat. Like that's so awesome.
Totally.
And I like the dude. Somebody here would have had to have flipped shit and get thrown out. And this guy, of course, this guy gets thrown out. As the game goes on, Harry all but forces Ed to take an advance of $500,000. Correct? Basically, he's saying like, "I'll end you the rest of the way," or he loans him like $250,000. It's like whatever happens. I don't know the technique. Like it's kind of hard to follow, but I think he gives him $250,000.
I think it's kind of like an interesting, it's like $250,000, but. Something I don't know. Like I don't know the terms of this. All right, I don't care. But it's man, like what a pants-shitting moment, right? Like this is because he also kind of like Eddie also tries to back away from that. He's like, "Nah, I don't think it's a good idea." But Harry's like, "No, let's do this." Like
right?
Oh,
he all but
so good,
literally
dude.
all but forces him because he's like, "I'm loaning you the money. We don't have to show each other his cards." He's like, "I'm not taking your money though." And it's like, I think that again, part of me wonders, and this is like the only like real meat on the bone, like if this person knew this and knew that, because they said Eddie's really good at reading people's reactions. You can see Harry's pupil when he gets, and I was like, dude, I bet you anything in the world, Eddie sees that. And he's like, I don't need to take, if I take this money, I'm fucked. But basically he's kind of forced to do it. Like he literally backs him into a corner. He's like, you have to take it, man. But once those cards come down and you get that rig shot on Eddie walking and everything is like, oh, dude, that is brilliant. So fucking good. Like I was over there just like, ooh, like touching my chest.
My sphincter like clenched up, dude.
That's terror. And the thing is, it's awesome. It's not an unrealistic thing. If you'd have been like, you owe me 10 grand by the end of the week. Well, yeah, you'd probably do some crazy shit to do that. But 500 grand is both like possible and impossible at the same time. Because it's like, you have a poker game for 100 grand. There's probably a dozen other things out there you can do like that. Like you've got to find some way to come up with this. It's almost ridiculous, but not. If you'd be like, you owe me 2 million pounds. I'm like, all right, dude, just kill yourself. I don't know what to tell you.
I thought 500,000 was, I don't know. I thought 500,000 was pretty high. Like, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, but again, yeah, you're right. The buy-in was like 100 grand, right? Like, I mean, it's pretty proportionate.
Right. I like where he shows up and it just freeze frames right when he goes. He then proceeded to explain the unfortunate position they were in. I love the fact they don't, because how that conversation goes. You don't really need to hear it, and I like Barry being like, every day you're late, I'm going to take one of your digits. He's like, you all right, son? And he just throws up in the street. I love one of the parts that makes me laugh out loud is when basically what Harry is like, all your friends threw in 25,000, so they owe too. And then he was like, what did he say? He's like, Ed would be lying if he said he didn't want to kiss the old bastard for that. He know he couldn't pay this on his own. He's like, and believe me, boys, I told him I wanted to pay it on my own. Like, I saw him spit my drink out. I was laughing so fucking hard.
That's totally
at this, man.
So realistic, dude. Like, it's just like, oh yeah, don't worry. I thought I had our backs, but
this is my one complaint of the movie here. We are 33 minutes in and you just now have like your setup. 33 minutes in. A lot of characters.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think the movie does kind of like this thing where it's like, let's introduce all of the characters first, then do the moment, and then kind of like show the audience how these characters kind of like interrelated. It kind of like leads to a lot of like not confusion in the first half hour, but kind of like where is this going kind of thing, And
it feels like a book.
Yeah, it does. It totally does.
I don't mind it either. I just mean like as a critique, if I had to critique something, I was like, I did just kind of notice it took you 35 minutes to kind of get into like the middle of everything. But especially when there's an hour 47 left, there is kind of a moment I hit where I'm like, okay, I can't take the footballing anymore. Like I feel like we're on an end game and I'm watching the fucking gauntlet get thrown to Avenger. I was like, come on, dude. I was like, this is getting a little old. Yeah, basically he explains the situation that they're in and they walk away trying to think of a way to save their fingers. We see that Plank knows the Weed Boys and buys regularly from them. This leads to Plank telling Dog about the score and Ed overhearing said score. I like this a lot. I like the whole happenstance of stuff, the introduction to Dog. Dude, it is fucked up, like golfing off of the dude and then throwing the knife into the guy hanging from his feet. And I was like, that is fucked up, man. Like that, that's hard to watch.
Took me a while to spot the guy on the ground. Like there's they pull out into that kind of like wide shot of like him golfing, and I was like, whoa, there's a guy on the ground.
Yeah, like that. I don't know. It just really fucked me up seeing him throw that knife at the dude when he like told you what you wanted and shit. Like, God, it's one thing, if you're going to rob somebody, that's one, I think that's fucked up and you're a piece of shit. you break into somebody's house, murder them, and take their drugs. Like, I don't feel bad what happens to any of these guys. But basically, they're trying to come up with ways to make their money. This is where, Ed overhears the score. This is good. I like this because he's kind of like, I've got to figure out, like to say, he's been at the bottom of a bottle for 2 days, and it's like you need the moment where is his upswing where he's like, I've got it. And it's like, I like this. I dig it.
Yeah. I need to figure out how I'm going to get myself out of this jam. Yeah. Because like you totally would have that initial shock of like, fuck, I am in this situation, like this is way over my head.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and I love that Ed actually has to explain to them that they have guns. And I was like, of course they do. And I was like, oh, wait. I was like, no, they don't. I was like, oh, they don't have that there. And I was like, I just kind of laughed. I was like, that would be like a given, like to me. It made me laugh that he's like, guns? They're going to have guns. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. Tom goes to see Nick the Greek about moving the weed, and we are properly introduced to Roy Breaker. I like this whole thing of Nick the Greek going to sell the weed. He's like, if the milk is sour, I ain't the pussy to drink it. And like his delivery, this guy is great, man. Like his like Vaz, fuck, I can't remember his name. I just
had it up earlier. I'll find it.
Vass Blackwood. He fucking absolutely crushes it. But I like this whole setup. His friend, everybody's kind of pulling their weight. It actually does feel like this great team kind of advantage thing. And Nick the Greek's trying to get involved, trying to help him sell the weed. I'll take it at 3.5. Basically, what did he say? Like 3.5. Whatever. He's selling them fucking drugs. I like where he goes and he's talking to this bartender looks cool as fuck, by the way. I would love to hang out with this dude. The guy that Tom is talking to. This made me think of Airplane, where like he's detailing what happens the night. And it's like the guy's speaking jive. That's like all I could think of, man. And I had real captions turned on. That's the thing.
Airplane. God damn it.
I had real like captions turned on, so I started going like up and down, like I look like a cat chasing a laser pointer, and I was reading up and down. I was like, all right, I gotta stop this. This is one of the parts that I just had, dude. I had to put this down. A few nights ago, Rory's iron's busted, so he goes down to the local batter cruiser to catch the end of his footer. Nobody's watching the custard, so he turns the channel over. A Fat Man's North opens, and he wanders over and turns the Liza over. Now fuck off and watch it somewhere else. Rory knows Claret is imminent, but he doesn't want to miss the end of the game. So calm as a coma, he stands and picks up a fire extinguisher and walks straight out past the jam rolls who are ready for action. Then he planks it outside the entrance. He then orders an Aristotle of the most ping-pong tiddly of the nuclear sub and switches back to his footer.
Oh,
that's fucking that's fucking it, says the guy.
We've lost all our listeners right now. Lost all our listeners
I love that part. Like that whole line delivery of just like, it was awesome. Yeah. Your own speech pattern. Like, cause Guy Ritchie's like, fuck it. I don't care. Like,
it reminds me of Casino, right? I mean, like this was in Casino, like when they're in like, when Pesci is calling De Niro, and like, because they know the FBI is listening, they're like, all right, I'll be there at 9. And the subtitles say, all right, I'll be there at 6. The kind of thing, they already know.
Yeah, it's a street speak kind of thing. It almost reminds me of like a Blade Runner type, like what Gad is speaking the whole time, or the cop, James Edward Olmos. I love that kind of the street speak that they have. Rory gobs down a mouthful of booze covering Fatty, and then he flicks a flaming match into the bird's nest and lights the man up like a leaky gas pipe. Oh, that's so fucking awesome, dude. Barry, meeting back up with Gary and Dean, realizes the two idiots have sold the guns to Nick the Greek, who in turn has sold them to Tom. Again, this is nice, it goes to you, it goes to him, goes to me kind of thing, but it's like, okay, this is going to happen like so many times. This dude, that line is fucking terrifying. If you don't want to be fucking counting the fingers you haven't got. And I was like, oh God. Dude, the outtake for this is great because he screams at this whole line at him and he's like, and pick him up an ice cream on the way. It's like a blooper gag. It's so fucking good, dude. Basically, he sells the guns to Tom. Again, this whole exchange is so fucking. He's like, I don't want to blow the ass out of the whole country with these things, dude. And they're so fucking old. It's so like goofy. It's again the visual shit about this is is so fucking great. This is where Nick the Greek tells him like, hey, it's on, basically he'll take the drugs. Solid officer out. A lot of people want range these days. Big Chris pays a visit to Sting, who tells Harry to fuck off. Chris tells him to figure out if he wants the bar or his son. After that, the heist is on. Oh man, this is, I mean, because we're pretty much, I know we're kind of like gliding along here, but hey, we're fucking 50 minutes into the movie, it's 2 hours long. Like, that's one thing is, at the 35-minute mark, you have your, oh fuck, but then by the 55-minute mark, they already have they basically already have the money. And you're like, that's nice. It didn't take them that long to kind of get out of it. It felt like it took forever to get into it, is kind of my thing. But I admit, I fucking love Sting here. And he was like, you're a man of reputation, so I want to make sure I say this right. You tell Harry to go fuck himself.
That's so good,
God
man.
damn.
Like, I love, he feels so stoic, man. It's so good. It's beautiful.
It's a great scene between two people who started their careers as not actors. It's great. It's very, very good. Even though, I mean, God, he towers over Sting. Sting looks so menacing, and just that down look that he's constantly giving him. It's so fucking great. I like the guys are prepping, they're getting ready. We have these little, scenes where, it's him and he's got the knives and he's like, oh, where the fuck you get all these? Like, some of these scenes are fun, but I don't need them every single time. I like them putting on the ski mask and shit, though. That's pretty funny. And he's like, yeah, you're right.
What
Good job,
fuck
so.
am I supposed to do with this?
And we get Jason Statham listening in on the wall. We've got the boys loading up. This whole thing's good because they leave in matching outfits and they all are like, oh, fuck, that's a good idea. And they go and get the same outfits. Like, that's so fucking good, dude. Like, the visual shit of it is great. And of course, the one time, so basically Plank is like, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to buy some weed. We're going to fuck these guys up. The one time that the cage is locked, they're like, oh, I love it. It's not just in and
beautiful.
out. And, so fucking good.
Like, it's kind of like one of those Murphy's Law things, right? Like, I feel like that's this movie in a nutshell. Like, what is it? Anything that can go wrong will go wrong, like, kind of thing.
Yes. You know what I kind of thought about right before we started recording? Everyone in this movie, except for Ed's dad, I'm just going to call him Sting. I don't care what his character, he's Sting. Everybody except for Sting in this movie is a fucking idiot. Like, everybody is a fucking idiot, except for Chris and Sting. That's really about it. And they're the only few people that don't end up getting fucked at some point. Like, everybody else is dead or fucked at the end of this in some shape, form, or fashion. And I like that. Like, everybody is fucking dumb in this movie to some degree or another. Plank and company show up and are almost turned away. But basically he's let in. They're counting money. He's like, get him the fuck out of here. We're going to make a couple $1,000s. And he's surprised when the cage is locked. Jay passes out and gets his leg blown off. That is fucking dark, dude. That is hard.
The shots, like the shots you get of it a bit later, like when it's just kind of just like limp there, like bloody,
it's just like a nub. It's like, oh, dude. And, when they find him at the end and he's like, God, I am in so much pain. Please help me. I was like, God damn it.
When he fires the shotgun, does it not sound exactly like the sound of the shotgun from Halo? I swear to God, that's the sound it makes.
I know that sound very, very well.
Me too. Me too.
I love a good shotguns match. It's very good. It's not as fun as SWAT, where you got to get headshots with battle rifles, but it's still pretty good. But basically, this is where they blow his fucking leg off and make their way in. I like this a lot. I like this whole thing of they're shooting him with the air rifle, and he's like, well, shoot him back. And they're like popping him with this single shot air rifle, and then Plank unloads both barrels of a sawed off, and they're just like, oh my God, like, crazy. My degree in philosophy never prepared me for this.
Fucking dumb cunt.
Dude, who was the traffic warden? You catch this? You catch who this traffic warden is?
No, he looks familiar though. Hit me.
Dude, that's Rob. Oh, fuck. God damn it. I wrote it down. Rob. Oh, my God. Rob Brydon. Oh my God. Dude, this guy's in so much shit. Rob Brydon. He's a comedian. He's in a bunch of shit, dude. Like, Google him. He's in, like, Little Britain. Like, he's been in a shit ton of stuff, dude. He's fucking hilarious. But yeah, he's a very famous, like, English, like, actor, comedian. Like, kind of like I've always think of him in, like, Steve Coogan kind of thing. But he's in a bunch of shit, dude. Rob Brydon's in several movies. So they fuck this traffic warden, not throw him. Why do you throw the traffic warden in the back like blindfold him and tie him up and throw him behind a building and just say, fuck it. Like leave him there. Like you don't,
leave him there.
Why? I don't understand this. This whole Reed scene is so great. And it's topped off with not only them, knocking out the cop and throwing him in the back, the guy with the Bren gun. Like that's, I knew a girl in high school. She would constantly quote that part. It's my Bren gun. that's the part she would quote constantly.
That's awesome. Yeah. This thing's wild, dude. Like this fucking, but I love how like comically huge it is. Like especially because they're all kind of like crammed in this cage, and he pulls out this gun, and it's just like, what the fuck? Okay, where did you get that from? Right? Like, is this World War II?
Right, and that's the thing. Like the few guns you do see, like you see a couple of sawed-offs, and but it's Rory who has the badass shit. It's like all the white guys have a bunch of old, crappy, large guns. Like there's something fucking stupid about that. But dude, it genuinely shocked me this time when Gloria gets up off the couch. It's like, oh shit! Like I kind of like jumped.
Dude, I was not expecting that this time around, and I was like, holy shit! But like, how clever is that, dude? Like because we as the audience had forgotten about her as well. Like, right. It was just like, that's so fantastic.
There's literally a shot with Dog standing in the door looking at the money, and he walks out of frame past the camera, and she's on the couch right there, and you can see her hair and shit, and you're like, how does someone just walk up and sit on this fucking lady? Like, that's insane. So yeah, they start loading up the trucks, they throw the traffic warden in, she blasts them all to hell with the Bren gun. I can't tell, is the guy, the big tall dude, does he die? Do they kill? Because he slashes that guy in the arm, and he's hiding with the sword or whatever. I don't know if he actually gets killed or not, because as soon as he goes to stab him, she pops up with the Bren guy. I hope that guy's still alive. He kind of cracks me up. I like his character.
Yeah, something kind of like happens here with the numbers of it all. Like I feel like they don't explain some of it, but like it's fine. Like I just kind of waves it off. I was like, whatever.
Yeah, people run. People are like, fuck it. So they lie in wait at the neighbor's apartment waiting for them to show up. He's like, you lofty cunt. You fucking forgot the shot. You forgot the shotguns. That's because they forgot the shotguns on the day of filming. Somebody from the film crew left them wherever, behind, and they actually didn't have them. And I was like, they were just made up a joke on the fly. I will say this whole movie, like it feels like Reservoir Dogs. It feels like Clerks, it kind of feels like that early, ragtag group of miscreants make a fantastic movie for like $1 million kind of thing. And like, there's something about that I like, where you can tell when a cast really clicks. And they said in this movie, like immediately everybody clicked. Like everybody was they were like, by the end of it, we were going and playing soccer together, and like one group was on one side and one group was on another, and everybody's pissed because Vinnie Jones is playing. And they're like, fuck that, dude. Like, Vinnie Jones? Like, that's not fair. But they're like, we're all still really, really good friends. And like, we had a blast making this, and it launched a lot of careers. And I'm like, man, it's so nice when you see a movie that's so genuine and looks like it's not like, hear about the drama behind the set with Mila Kunis and Tom Cruise.
There's no like studio interference and shit.
Yes, like, it's so nice, man. I love it.
This is, I wanted to point out as well, like you mentioned Clerks and you mentioned like Reservoir Dogs. Like those are movies, first-time movies by first-time directors. But like the casts of those movies are so small. Like, like Clerks is literally like 2 or 3 people, like, plus a couple extras. Reservoir Dogs, 5 or 6. This has a massive cast for a first-time director. Like, I'm just like, how did you, like, as a first-time director, how did you handle the chaos? Like, like so the amount of actors that you have, the amount of speaking actors. Yeah, it's crazy.
I read somewhere at some point they ran out of like cast members, and they were grabbing people from the crew to be like, I need you in the shot. Like, I need you here. I need you there. And I was like, damn, that is so fucking cool. But yeah, so they show up, the neighbors, our boys are waiting for the neighbors. This is great. I love Tom kicking that fucking guy once he gets in. And they're like, Tom can kick somebody if he wants, leave him alone. And yeah, this is where they fucking, they robbed the shit out of him. Let me see here. Once they arrive, they steal the van and the cops inside. I love Dog. He's like, I'll get you. And there's something so terrifying about Dog, because he's just kind of laughs. He's just kind of laughing it off. And it's like, dude, I am scared of that guy more than I am of Harry the Hatchet. Like, that guy is genuinely terrifying to me. There's something about Dog that I'm like, holy fucking shit, dude. Just the laugh and the wink of like, I'll get you. I'll figure out who you are. And it's like the confidence is brazen. It's fucking terrifying, dude. But this is pretty much where they steal the van, they steal the cop inside. We're about to cut to Nick giving Rory a sample, who's going to figure out, and he's going to buy this weed. But I say we take a little bit of a break right here, grab something to drink, come back, maybe empty our bladders, probably into the cup and then drink it again, starting a vicious cycle. What do you say?
Yeah, absolutely. I just wanted to point out just real quick. Did we go past I know we did. We must have. The part where Gloria gets up and just fires the Bren gun.
No, yeah, that's what I was saying. Where it scared the shit out of me when she popped up on the couch, and you're like, "Oh fuck!" And then she started shooting at people.
I know, but I really wanted to highlight just her getting slapped, dude. Just her getting absolutely slapped, man. Just fucking great.
That's what I was wondering because she drops, and then I'm like, "Well, what happened to Winston? What happened to that dude?" I'm like, I hope they're just alive and somewhere nice. That'd be very cool. But guys, we will be right back. We're gonna grab something to drink. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, thanks for listening to Midnight Double Feature. Just a couple things before we jump back into the episode. We recently launched a website, midnightdoublefeature.com, where you can find everything basically we've done. All of our written reviews, all of our podcasts. You can even find merchandise on there now. We have things like t-shirts, mugs, locks of hair from Zoheb, old grocery lists that Matt had written on. All those are available at midnightdoublefeature.com. Zoheb and Colin recently started a new podcast. That is Midnight Double Feature Presents Bad Crystal, a Breaking Bad podcast. And that's right, they're covering the hit show Breaking Bad. The big thing here is that Zoheb has watched it several times, and Colin has never watched it a single time. So go check that out. That's Bad Crystal, a Breaking Bad podcast. We kept coming out with so much content that we finally had to start a Patreon. That's right. Midnight Double Feature now has a Patreon page where you can find members-only exclusive episodes, as well as commentary tracks. You even get discounted merch on our aforementioned website. All of this can be found for $5 a month. So head over to our Patreon page for Midnight Double Feature and get some exclusive content. Lastly, before we jump back into the episodes, you can find us at facebook.com/Midnight Double Feature. We also have a group on there called The After Party, full of a bunch of cool-ass people that share a lot of movie-related stuff on there. We get a lot of good conversations. You can also find us on Instagram at Midnight Double Feature, at Twitter at MDF Pod, and if you just hate using podcasting platforms, you can even find us on YouTube. We now return to whatever you were listening to.
Welcome back to the second part of Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. We are Midnight Double Feature. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I'm just kidding. Kind of picking up where we left off. Kind of picking up where we left off of them. They've robbed Dog and the neighbor boys. They're driving the van. They find the traffic warden in the back, and he's like, "I hate traffic wardens." And they all start beating the shit out of him. That is a great moment, dude.
The way they just kind of simultaneously just they just jump over and they just start wailing on him. So fucking good.
I also have to say I rarely drink alcohol, and on the break I filled myself up with a Dr. Pepper and Captain Morgan. It's actually a delicious combination. And I was like, watching a movie like Lock, Stock, you need to have alcohol, and I think that's very acceptable.
The just real quick, during our break I did a little bit of rating. Dude, you know who was supposed to play Harry? Hatchet Harry?
It's like Ray somebody?
Yeah, Ray Winston. Do you know Ray Winston?
Who the fuck is that now?
Really? Okay, dude. He's been in heaps of shit. He's been in The Departed. He's a big Guy Ritchie guy. He's
the guy that talks about cutting his pecker off in The Departed.
Him.
Okay. Yeah, I know that guy.
You can see it, right?
Yeah, well, actually, it's funny because on the making of this movie, when they're talking to Roy Breaker, he's like, and in fact, he's like, they waited so long to do the movie that they had Ray Winston signed up, and I was like, who the fuck is Ray Winston? I was like, okay. You should watch the making of this, by the way. It's only about an hour long, and they talk about Tom Cruise, they talk to Sting's wife, they talk to everybody.
Cool.
It's a really good, it's on YouTube. It's totally free. It's like an hour long.
Awesome. I can't wait to not check that out.
Yeah. After I talk about it for 2 hours, I can't wait to go watch the making of it. So basically, yeah, they steal this van. They beat the shit out of the traffic wardens. This is where, let me see here. Oh, no, that's not what I meant to do. So, and this is also where I think this is where we left off, where Nick the Greek gives the sample to Rory, and he takes a sniff, and, he's like, I'm going to give it to my, what did he say? Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And did you remember that this was the guy who was funding Winston and like everybody? Was that like, oh shit,
No,
like the revelation to you?
That was a total like I'm watching this movie, but like at the same time, I'm like, how is Breaker involved in this? Like, like at this point, he's still not. He's part of it, but he's not really fully involved. And then I'm like, whoa, hold on, he's kind of like the ringleader? Like, that's insane. And like they do such a good job of like of setting up just how dangerous of a person Breaker is, right? Like when we get that kind of like, I fucking lit him on fire, right? Like that whole shit.
Right.
And then, like, once you find out that he's the ringleader that these two, these fucking weirdos have like knocked off, it's like, oh shit, they've robbed this guy, like,
Yes, exactly. Like, it is very cool because it's kind of like reading a book and you're like, where does this character come into place? Like, a book will lose me if they take too long to do that. Like, if I'm like 7 chapters in and the head characters haven't met, I'm like, all right, I'm done. But what do you think of the gag of every time of Nick the Greek with the glass, like dropping it through the thing? Like I laughed the first time. I was like, "Ooh, that's funny." And the second time, I forgot about it. And then because it's so innocuous, him just putting a glass down.
Right.
That the second time it happened, I was like, "Oh fuck!" It was like an uppercut. I kind of forgot about it. It made me laugh.
Yeah, it was so throwaway for me. I was like, I didn't even like. Oh yeah, okay, funny.
Here's the thing.
It didn't really hit me. I think
it's all worth it. And I'm the same way about the first couple times. It's like, it just seems like a gag to like, I think they even said that wasn't supposed to happen and they had to like make the most of it. But,
see, that makes it like, I appreciate it more. Like, if it does, if it's not supposed to happen, then I appreciate it more.
Because a lot of people are like, why the fuck is Rory watching race car driving? And they're like, it was supposed to be British, football is supposed to be soccer.
I'd imagine it's football, right? Like, because like, that's why, because they're so like, everyone around the world knows how dialed in the British are to like football.
You're exactly right. So, like, it was supposed to be football. Like all the TVs behind Nick the Greek, they get there, the TVs don't work. And then when they finally get them to work, they put the tape in and it's like American football, and Guy Ritchie's like, I fucking hate American football. he's like, I'd rather watch racing. This awesome. Whole thing works to me. The most hilarious part of this movie, it might be one of my top favorite moments, is when the guy comes in with the drink and he stops halfway and he's like, and just starts backing up.
Just backs off, dude. Oh, I laughed
so fucking hard.
I lost my mind. I'm just that is the best decision that anyone could make ever.
that is like the level of horror of watching Jay get his leg blown off matches the level of like laughter from seeing that guy stop. He just stops. And then he looks at it and he looks back up and he's like, ah. It's so fucking good.
It's so quick and throwaway, dude. Like if you're not watching the movie, you'll miss it entirely.
Yes, it's so fucking good, dude. I love that whole thing. And a lot of these guys, like Nicholas Rao, that's the guy that plays Jay that gets his leg blown off. I was watching the making of this and he's like, I'm in Heathrow Airport and people kind of start like double taking me. He's like, I wonder if they're looking at me because of that second production of Romeo and Juliet I did on West End. He's like, no, it's because of fucking Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. Nice. And I was like, poor dude. Like, he sounds like he had fun, but like, fuck. It's like, I'm in this movie for like 10 minutes, dude. But yeah, this is where, we get the, him giving him a sample and he's just kind of like, these guys have been stealing my shit. For lack of a better term. Like, I like the fact that he figures it out very quickly once they show up and Jay's leg is blown off and Winston comes back and kind of tells him everything what's going on. I was like, oh shit, dude, you can feel it really start to break bad. And you're like, this is not fucking good, dude. But basically, and this is where, let me see here, they kind of party all night. This is the last thing I would do. If I had close to £1 million and then like a shit ton of weed sitting in a car, I would sleep in that car until everything was gone. Like, there's no way. Like, if your life fucking depends on it, man. Like, have you ever seen Train Spotting?
Yeah. Oh, years ago. Probably about as long as this.
It's hard. I mean, this is a lot more fun watch, but it kind of made me think of Train Spotting.
I just remember like the baby crawling on the ceiling.
Fuck that shit, dude. It's so hard. Better than sex. And he's like coming out of the dark, like better than sex, Rin. And you're like, oh my God. But that's dude. So and I would just be so paranoid if you were me, Matt, and Danny. I would be so paranoid that one of you guys would pull a Rin and like run out with all the money and shit. And like my life depends on this shit. I'm sorry. Like I can't just be I can't just be like lollygagging and trusting all these people with the shit. So yeah,
I'm pretty
this is where
clever.
they're so just him standing over me with a knife, just like stabbing me. Just like it's fucking clever. So this is where he realizes, like I said, they've been ripped off. Your stupidity might be your only saving grace. That part's really fucking great when he's talking to Nick the Greek. Mr. Breaker, tonight, my name is Mr. Breaker. The boys celebrate royally, like I said, as Nick takes an appointment and he, basically says that, these guys have been stealing my shit. And I like the fact that he actually does. He doesn't pin this on Nick the Greek. He's like, you don't know what happened. And I'm like, that's cool. I like that. I like that there's no misunderstanding. Let me see here. Scrolling down. If you hold back anything, I'll kill you. If you bend the truth, or I think you're bending the truth, I'll kill you. If you forget anything, I'll kill you. In fact, you're going to have to work very hard to stay alive, Nick. I'm like, that's a great line from a terrifying, whew.
It's pretty much like like, getting up in court and like proving on the balance of probability that you're innocent, but here it's like the other way. It's like, I'm assuming you're guilty, so you're gonna have to prove the other way. It's good stuff, dude.
It's like not a liability you can take with these people. I love it. So good. Dog grills the neighbor boys about not finding out who robbed him. You wouldn't even know if it was the fucking neighbor next door. I laughed out loud at that line, dude. It's so fucking good. After throwing Plank through the wall, they discover the boys' listening station and lie in wait. That's really good. I like the whole tables getting turned here. Meanwhile, Dean and Gary try and get back the guns they've sold. What's hilarious is Nick the Greek, the phone he pulls out is the phone earlier where Tom's like, you can have one of those phones. And it's the same phone. Nice. Oh, that's so good. I love little shit like that, man. Like, God, I just adore this movie, dude. It's so fucking good. Like, I don't really have any problems with it. And I kind of miss movies like this make me want to go and make movies. Like, it's like,
you need to see The Gentleman. I mean, like, The Gentleman is very similar to this. I mean, like, it's nowhere near as good, but like, don't sleep on The Gentleman, dude. It's fantastic.
I saw a great meme of Hot Fuzz meets the Kingsman, and it was like, what was the second most painful? And it's Country Road. This is that guy from Kingsman, and I was like, oh, that is sad, man. That sucks. So they lie in wait, waiting for the boys to show up. Rory and whoever. Dean and Gary are trying to go get the guns. Rory and his gang run up on what they think are our boys, but are actually the neighbors. I love this whole thing, them loading up the shotguns and stuff, then getting loaded. The funniest part of this whole exchange to me is, there's a cutting back and forth between Dean and Gary. There's a cutting back and forth between the boys. There's Nick the Greek. Here's, Rory over here. And then there's the neighborhood. It's like a 5-pointed star. And then at the end, the all the black dudes break in and Plank just goes, what the fuck is going on? And I was like, dude, that is like the summarization of everything going on with this movie right now. What the fuck is going on? How much shit?
It's good stuff because like it's challenge. Like, okay, this is something that I'm really dialed. This is a conversation that I'm really dialed into right now because Tenet. Like Tenet has me like thinking about like movies that like really challenge audiences, and like I think I asked this in the after party earlier this week. Like I was just like, what do you guys prefer, right? Like movies that challenge you, or movies that kind of like, up front give you like what it is, like like there's no kind of like room for interpretation or ambiguity or anything like that. Like here, this is a movie that's super challenging. Like this could. Like to a casual viewer, like this could be something that would be like, oh, like look, it's a bit too much. Like I don't understand what's going on. But if you track it, if you follow it, and if you stick with it, I think, man, like movies like this are just so rewarding. Like like at the end of it and the end of it all, it just gives you such a good experience.
Yeah, because there's the thing is, I think for the low budget and the kind of low scale, people were probably thrown off by how complicated this was.
Yeah.
And I kind of was too, from a podcasting, having to take notes for it type shit. Like, that's why people listening to this people listening to this are probably like, they forgot this part of it. Like, dude, we would be here for 4 hours if I went over every nook and cranny of this movie. So, but that's the thing. As a viewer, though, like I love this movie, and it's not like Inception level challenging. It's just kind of, if you can strap in for like a murder mystery, almost like whodunit kind of thing, that's kind of what it feels like. Like, I'm not saying this feels like Knives Out, but it just feels like this, almost this like, it hits this comical running around.
Right. There's so many characters, and there's so many kind of like groups of characters, and each of these characters have different motivations. And I think that's where the things get kind of difficult, because you're trying to remember each of these characters' kind of like motivations for doing things, and like who is allianced with who and who is not allianced with who, and like who is friendly with who and who's not. Yeah, like, you know, all of that, you kind of just like really need to sort of pay attention. You know, you can't just pick up your phone and be like, "Oh, I'm just going to text someone," because if you miss something, you'll lose it. Right.
Well, especially once he crashes into the back of their car, and it's like, okay, dude, like, this just feels like this is going on like for way too long. But a gunfight ensues. Pretty much everyone is killed. Everybody kills everybody. Dog is met by Big Chris, who assumes he is one of the boys paying the debt to Hatchet Harry. He takes the cash and the guns while Dean and Gary pursue. They said this was Vinnie Jones's first scene, and they had to delay it because they're like, first day of production, Vinnie Jones is in jail. It's like, that's not surprising. Like, I get a very, like, what's that guy's name? Sonny something, who was in Predator, the Sonny Leone, the scary motherfucker. You know what I'm talking about? He's in like Lockup. He's the big dude in Predator, like the native. I think he's Native American. I think his name's like Sonny Leone, but he was they had to have like,
I know who you're talking about. Yes. I think it's Sonny Leone, but I'll look it up while you're talking.
Something, but dude, they had to have like insurance taken out on that guy because he was just a wild man, like, by an understatement.
Quick tangent. Have you seen the Midnight Meat Train?
That's not a real movie, is it?
It's a movie.
That's our porno movie podcast. That's where we review amateur pornography.
Welcome back to the Midnight Meat Train with Midnight Dovasia and
with Zoe and Collie Bear.
Look at the way he strokes his cock. He even just the way he's shaved his pubes down to the nub. Oh, beautiful.
Dude, it would go like, oh God, I can't imagine reading off the synopsis. Like, Jimmy, a pizza boy, shows up to a house and a woman who has no form of payment. Like, oh my God, that'd be great. We need to be the first. We need to be the first to cover a porno. That would be hilarious.
We sit down and just like watch the like Pirates. What is that? Pirates.
I was just thinking that Pirates, the really expensive production. If you want to hear us cover a porno, please email us. Like, make sure you do it when you're not at work, but email us.
Yeah. Also, that day, Colin, my camera probably won't be working. So
right. I'm not watching a porno and looking at you in the eye. I just can't do it. I'm sorry.
But like, can you imagine, dude? Like, we're watching the porno and all we're doing is looking at each other in the eye. So Midnight Meat Train. That was a movie that came up. So that came out in 2008. I remember being like, I think I was like 15, but like I remember hearing a lot about it. It's based on a short story by Clive Barker, and it's a horror movie, and it's basically it's Vinnie Jones as kind of like this really mysterious kind of like guy on a train who kills people with like a fucking meat tenderizer. But like the movie takes like some crazy turns. Like Bradley Cooper's in it, like Leslie Bibb's in it. It's got a pretty like strong cast. Brooke Shields, right?
Damn.
But yeah, I remember the movie being like really, really solid, but the ending of it was like, what the fuck? Because like Vinnie Jones, and spoilers for Midnight Meat Train, he like, I'm pretty sure he's like a demon or some kind of like otherworldly creature or some shit, because he eats these people.
72% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
It was solid. I remember liking it, honestly. Sorry, so the person we're looking for Predator is Sonny Landham.
Sonny Landham. That's what it was. So close. All right. Getting back to this. This is where they still
cover a porno now. Fuck Lockstock.
Yeah. Well, it'd have to be something like Pirates or Debbie Does Dallas. Like it'd have to be a big one. You know,
The fuck
you couldn't
is
just
Debbie
be
Does Dallas?
Oh, you never heard?
fuck
That's like
is
an
that?
infamous. That's like an infamous. Like I think it was a porno where Debbie has sex with the Dallas Cowboys. I think I don't know. It's like vintage, like old school shit. Like it's always been a joke of like movie names. I've heard it a lot. Debbie Does Dallas.
All I know is that when we cover it, I'm like when we cover a porno, not if. Like when we cover a porno, all I'm just gonna be thinking of is I'm just gonna keep saying, "That's it, boy. Get up there, nice and deep like." From Dodgeball.
Oh yeah, when he's like picking the lint out of his belly button.
His fucking belly button, dude.
Debbie Does Dallas is the 1978 pornographic hardcore pornography film.
Fuck yeah.
Debbie Does Dallas, starring Bambi Woods. The plot of the film. The plot of the film focuses on Iron Man confronting the Infinity Stones. No, I'm just kidding. The plot of the film focuses on a team of cheerleaders attempting to earn enough money to send the title character to Dallas, Texas, to try out for the famous Texas Cowgirls cheerleading squad.
Well,
okay, that sounds weird.
I mean, like, it sounds like there's a lot of character development there. Like, you know, it
sounds like there's a lot of extortion and sex for favors in that movie. That sounds awful.
It sounds like a real motion picture where she takes 12 loads to her face.
That would be so fucking funny. It'd be like everyone's like Heath Ledger for the Joker, Bambi Woods, and Debbie Does Dallas.
And the Oscar guys too.
Let me see here.
Holy
I fucking
shit.
totally lost my spot.
Lost in the weeds.
Yeah. Everybody dies basically. Chris takes the guns and the money. Dean and Gary go after him. You know the guy that Dog throws out of the car? That's Matthew Vaughn.
Yeah, I thought
he's like, get out of the car, you fucking yuppie.
Yeah, like literally Matthew Vaughn is cast in this movie as yuppie guy in car or some shit like that.
Yeah.
I
like that Winston actually, the last man alive, he takes the pot and he runs. And it's like, cool, you actually got what you deserved. Like, you just got... if there's anybody I kind of feel bad for, it's like, dude, they got fucked. Like, they get robbed 2 or 3 times. Like, that's kind of fucked up. They didn't really do anything wrong, I guess. But anyways, Chris makes the drop. Harry tells the boys to come and see him. You know, I like this whole thing. The first time, actually, Dog goes to steal the car and he gets hit and flies over it, I laughed out loud. I was like, because you're thinking Dog is going to come and like put his hand up and stop the car, and he just gets hit and flies over it. And I was like,
so good,
that is absolutely hysterical.
It looks like a great stunt, honestly. Like that, kind of like in camera, like practical. You can tell it's a stunt man. Like it's good stuff. It looks fantastic.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, you know, Chris goes to see Harry. He drops off the $500,000. Harry is kind of thinking that the debt is repaid. I like this. You know, it's interesting. We know everything that the other characters do not know anything. That's what's so funny is that like that you're just 2 people away from knowing the whole story. It feels like the whole time, you know, and it's so interesting. And like right here at this part where Dean and Gary, you know, they show up to Harry's and, you know, they end up, you know, he kills, I don't even really remember which one's Dean or which one's Gary. But basically
honestly,
he shoots.
You've been saying names for the last like 2 hours or so. And I'm just like, man, there's just so many names in this. But I've dead set had like IMDb pulled up the entire time to like actually like visualize who it is because man, there's just so many names in this.
See, I guess from watching it and taking notes, and I was just like, okay, that's Dean, that's Gary, that's Larry, that's Harry, and it's like, okay, but still though, like you could use a little diversity in the names in this, you know.
Bacon,
right? Yeah, exactly. Like Bacon is easy to remember. If you had like, oh, here's Zoheb, I'd be like, oh, okay, that one's pretty easy to remember.
Is that an alien?
Yeah, I think you're saying that as Zahib. You're saying that wrong,
dude. Honestly, some people just like fuck it up like royally, and I'm just like, man. It's 5 letters, completely phonetic. There's no like bullshit, like silent like letter in there. Just
I'd probably say Zoheb if I had to guess. If somebody put a gun in my head,
why?
Because Hebrew HEB Zoheb.
Just kill me, Colline.
Whatever. Anyways, So they show up. Gary shoots both of them. I like he shoots one shoots the other. One hatchets him. He turns around and shoots him. And the whole thing is, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, what the fuck are you doing here? It's
Dude,
so good. Like
fucking him pulling out the hatchet, right? Like he
yes.
just tomahawks him. Like, what is this, Call of Duty? Jesus Christ.
It's like he's fucking Turok. Like, what the hell are you? It's so good because it's the whole thing. It almost feels like Romeo and Juliet. Like, if you just were like one other person away, you'd know exactly what's going on. Like,
it feels like destiny, like, you know, things are meant to be kind of situation, you know?
I love him running in with dual wielding the gun. It's like, you fucking bastard! and shoot, and his hair all fucking crazy like. And I hate seeing the Baptist die. That's so sad, seeing him get shot, and he's like, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, God, he really.
I'm not gonna lie. When they walk in and they just see the the Baptist just sitting up there,
he's just staring at the ceiling. You're like, come on, dude. If I were Guy Ritchie, I'd be like, turn over on your side. Don't let them see you.
It looks like he's kind of like praying or some shit, dude. It's hilarious.
Right. When Chris arrives back at the car, Dog is waiting with a knife to his boy. That pissed me off, honestly. Like, cause you know how,
pretty
like, not
savage,
personally, but like, I think once you realize about Big Chris and like he doesn't even want you cursing in front of his kid, like you just put a knife to his kid's throat, like you're a fucking dead man.
Exactly, yeah. It definitely feels like the point where Dog has crossed the line. It's like you are not coming back alive from this, you know. But
and
honestly,
the thing is, Dog. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say the punishment that he endures 100% fits the crime. It's such a beautiful death.
Well. And he's murdered like he blew that guy's leg off. He murdered that one guy. And it's like, dude, you don't have anybody after you. That's the fucked up thing. If Dog were like, hey, I also owe somebody like 500,000 quid. Cool. Like, I'm interested, or pounds. Like, I'm interested in that. But like, you're just a selfish prick. Like, and you rob people who make money off of dealing drugs. So you're too much of a pussy to sell drugs yourself. So you rob those people. And I'm like, I hate that shit.
No, exactly.
Sorry, I was finishing off my drink. So yeah, basically he's waiting when they get back. He's turned the keys on. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, it's either a 5-minute walk or a 30-second car ride. He's like, I'm not going to fucking walk. And basically when he rolls up, we get Tom and Ed show up and they find all the carnage that's going on. They're just like, what the fuck is going on, dude? And he's like, I don't know, but I'm taking this money. And the whole thing of the shotguns is so great of seeing Tom, who's like, won't let go of these shotguns that he got for like $350 a pop. And it's like, dude, just let it go, man. But it ends up being one of those things where it's like when we covered the Mummy and Jonathan keeps grabbing the puzzle box, even though they don't need it. Like he's got the map and it's like, no, but it means something else like entirely. That's so cool. But basically, yeah, when they get back there again, you know, Ed gets back down to the car. They get slammed into, you know, he kills Dog, which they said that. So when they went to film this, it was Vinnie Jones did it in one take. It was just a piece of wood, like in between the door and the car. And they said the guy with the camera was down in the footwell, you know, down in the footrest. And Guy Ritchie was like, hey, Vinny, like, come here. He's like, I want you to scare the fucking hell out of this guy. And he was like, for real? And he's like, I want you to be the meanest, scariest, like Vinnie Jones you can be. And it was one take and they just, you know, and he's fucking going brutal. Awesome. And then he stopped and then everybody stops and Vinnie Jones is like, hey, is that good? And everybody was just like, oh my God. Okay. Well, we're not doing a second take of that. And I was like, yeah, like the editor even said, he was like, I have gotten shit before on this movie because someone said that scene is so violent. The thing that cracks me up is a scene before that. We just watched a man get shot twice with a double barrel shotgun and nobody ever mentions that to me.
And there was like actual like blood squibs. Yeah.
Yes, that's the effectiveness of it that I really like. And there is one tiny thing that I do love that I totally skipped over when Rory shows up to kill the guys in the house, the neighbors, when Dog opens up the door and you don't see anything but the blood splatter hits him in the face. I was like, oh, that's so fucking good, dude. I love that. Yeah.
Like, I like, you know me, I like the implied violence over the actual, you know, like what you see. Like that to me is just so much better. Like it's kind of like the theater of the mind stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, he beats the shit out of Dog and kills him. I love he goes up there and finds the money. He's like, you cheeky bastard. He goes upstairs. He finds Harry and Barry dead. I love it. It's like, Tom, he's like, now, what is it? He's like, Chris had to appreciate the situation. He was walking up to what he thought were 2 loaded shotguns. And Tom had to appreciate the situation because he knew they were not. It's like, that's so fucking funny. And it's, you know, it seems cool. He's just like, take the money. I'll leave. I'm leaving with the shotguns, whatever. Yeah, and this is where he beats Dog to death. He takes the money. Tom leaves with the shotguns, and they both call it a day. Now, Ed is arrested and released and back at the bar, and they are scot-free except for the shotguns, which are in Tom's car outside. This is fucking hilarious to me. Basically, they advise him to go throw him off of a bridge. Chris arrives saying he's lost his employer and decided to take care of himself and gets into the money lending business. I kind of like that. I like Big Chris becoming Hatchet Harry now. I was like, that's cool. I was like, that's what I took away from that. It's like, there's a void. Somebody has to become the new Hatchet Harry.
Right.
And I was like, this guy might as well. Yeah, I like that. I really, really dug it. They tell him to go toss him off of a bridge. I was reading, they reshot this ending. The original ending.
Yeah, I read that too.
Yeah,
because
it's like them walking away. Yes. It was them walking away with a bag of money, and it was Big Chris following behind them. And they were just basically like, oh, the story's not done. Which would be kind of cool. I guess I don't hate it. Yeah. The ending they did is so much better.
I love this ending, dude. Like, this is such a, I love the ambiguity of it, and not only that, but I love how hilarious it is. He's just flailing to get to it, and these guys are just like, does anyone have his number? No one's got his fucking number. It's beautiful.
Oh, my fucking battery died.
Oh man, fantastic! It feels like something that would actually happen.
Right. Well, and the great thing about Tom is the fact that he was, Jason. I'm blanking his last name.
Fleming.
Thank you. Jason Fleming was already filming another movie, so this is like 3 months later, and they had to call him back in for reshoots. So the whole time, Jason Fleming has a hat on because his hair was like grown out because it's like buzzed in the movie. It's super low. But basically, he had to grow his fucking hair back out for this shit. But yeah, and as he goes to throw him over the bridge, they hit that little skirt, and I love Chris leaving. He's like, and if you ever want to come talk to me about this, you got a problem, you bring a fucking flag high and white so I can see it, blah, blah, blah. And as he leaves, like, it's been emotional. I'm like, oh, that's a good, it's such a good way.
Emotional, dude. Like this guy, this giant enforcer, who just beat a man to death using his car door. It's been emotional. like what a fantastic topper, dude. It's great.
What did you think of the car Vinnie Jones drives off in? Holy shit.
Amazing. Beautiful.
That is nice.
Beautiful, right? Yeah.
Because it kind of broke my heart to watch him destroy that thing. And I was like, oh, that sucks. But yeah, this is where we're kind of wrapping it up. They see that they basically see that the actual worth of the shotguns is what, $250,000 to $320,000 or something.
Right.
So yeah, and it's such a great shot that it ends on it. The phone in his mouth, his hand on the thing, and his arm reaching out for the shotgun. And it's like, man, if you could just put that on the cover, that would seal it up so good. And let me ask you this. In your own opinion, it doesn't change the movie at all. Do you think he gets the shotguns? What do you think? And I was just like, do you think he gets him, or do you think he's just like, fuck it?
I think, I don't think they reach him. I don't think they reach him in time. I think he manages to get rid of it and dumps it. Honestly, I can't see him I can't see him getting out of the situation. Getting back up, taking the mouth out of his phone. Sorry, mouth out of his phone. Taking the phone out of his mouth. And, them reaching him. I don't know. I like the whole idea that this movie is all about things going wrong. And I love the idea of this was all for nothing. We settled our debt, but not really. That kind of went south. And, these guys don't really walk away from this situation better or worse, Yeah,
I respectfully disagree only because...
Well, you can go fuck yourself, honestly.
You can say it ends up being a thing of you should have never been gambling and got into this, and each one of you lost $25,000. You're lucky you're not dead. So lesson learned, don't do this again. But there is something that I actually like about them recouping what they've lost. I actually kind of like that, of them being you went through a lot of shit though, and it wasn't really your fault. You were cheated every step of the way, basically. And you deserve something in return for that. So I think it can go either way. I personally believe that he's more likely to just spit the phone out and answer it because he's like, fuck, I can grab the shotguns in a second. What? I don't know. I guess me personally, I like to think that they walk away with the shotguns.
Well, I'm reading a thing from Guy Ritchie here. And Guy Ritchie's right, in the end, Jason Fleming's character does reach the shotguns, but throws them over. No, he doesn't. This is not thing. I just want to be
fuck
wrong.
you.
But
In the end, he
music,
shoves
dude.
one in his ass and one in his mouth and blows himself apart.
even just the music of it, dude, like the way it ends, like it's just like it's kind of like this throwaway, like look at how fucking moronic these four idiots are, kind of thing. It's
right,
good stuff.
exactly. Exactly. Well, that's fucking Lock, Stock, and Smoking Barrels, dude.
Woo!
Lock,
Thank you
Stock,
so much
and-
for making me watch this movie again, man. Like it's such a good. Like I don't know. Like I had no plans to rewatch this movie. I don't know why. I definitely remember loving it. Like the first time I saw it, and I just never came back and revisited it. And man, I just had a great time with it. Honestly, this is such a fantastic movie. Not so much like, you know, we were talking a bit off air about like, you know, considering covering this movie as like a commentary track. I think it's a hard movie to cover as a commentary track and as a feature presentation, because if you could, like, you know, we had difficulties covering it as a feature presentation because there's just so much to it. Like, you know, like you yourself said, look, I wrote fucking 8 pages of notes for this shit. Like there's a plot is so convoluted. But at the same time, as a commentary track, the jokes and like the hilariosity of it comes so quick. It's going to be like really hard live on the air to like get the stuff that we want to talk about, you know?
It's so much visual humor. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I understand when we do those, people, I mean, they don't have to watch it, I guess. I suggest you do. But there is also something where this film is sponsored by the Instagram sepia tone filter. You know, oh my God, so much. It's so good, though. I love it.
That's 2 in a row for us, right? I mean, like we said the same thing on the Gone in 60 Seconds episode. That movie looks like was the Instagram sepia tone.
What kills me is the car that Tom rolls up in. I was like, dude, it looks like you're driving a fucking Rolls Royce. Like he rocks up in this old, like beautiful car. And I was like, okay, you won't let go of 2 $700 shotguns? Like, get the fuck out of here. But yeah, that's Lock, Stock, and 2 Smoking Barrels. This was a movie that once I finished it today, I had to resist the urge to immediately put it right back on. Like I immediately wanted to watch it again. And
I can tell you what, man, I'm glad I purchased it. Honestly, like it was either rent for like $2 or purchase for $5, and I'm just like, well, I'm gonna purchase this, dude, because I remember this being like really good. And yeah, I honestly will be rewatching this in the near future sometime.
Yeah, same here. I want to get my girlfriend to watch it, and I think it's just a fantastic movie, and it's so, you know, I don't want to be like, man, you know, we just don't make movies like this anymore, and blah blah blah, you know, and people don't make movies, and because I'm not really hip to like the underground independent film scene, I'm just not, and I'm sure there's movies like this coming out, but this whole thing of movies of like the crime comedy music video kind of thing is, you know, I think they had their time, but it's not really. I don't think that this is something that gets made today. It's just kind of seedy and it's kind of underground, and like it's very different, and it's very, you know, this would feel weird set in the 70s or the 80s or the, you know, mid 2000s or 2020. This would feel very weird, but like right at this time where technology, you know, like social media and stuff hadn't really taken off, you know, right on the cusp of all that stuff, it feels really cool to have a movie like set in those late 90s, early 2000s. That's why I love Spaced. I love like even stuff like Gone in 60 Seconds, like right at that 98 to 03 like kind of thing, right before everything really took off, like social media wise and shit like that. And I just, man, it's such a cool time, and I really, really love it. But it's like once I watched this movie, I immediately wanted to get back into this world and like hang out with these people. And it's like, man, I just want to like sit down and have a beer with all you guys. It would seem like it's just so much fun. And
I really want to watch Snatch now, honestly. Like that's Guy Ritchie's movie after this.
I have seen not all of it, but I remember not liking it as much as Lock, Stock, and 2 Smoking Barrels. I remember liking this way more. But there's something about just the dirty, grimy, hungry part of it that I love. Like, and that's why I feel about like Reservoir Dogs and Clerks, like this person who just really wanted to get something out, and it's like low budget. It's not a lot of people in it that, you know, there's not a lot of violence. It's not The Matrix, you know, but it's clever in its own way. It's crude. It's got crass. There's like so much cool stuff about it that I love, but it really hasn't aged for me. Nothing's really gone the way of like, that doesn't really, you know, it's not like they're working out to like Olivia Newton-John videos in the 80s, and there's something that really dates the movie, you know? There's really nothing in there that just was like threw me off the track. So like, I would say that this is probably, I would say a 9.5 out of 10, maybe a 10 out of 10. And it's just about perfect, except for like there are a lot of characters, but everybody serves a purpose. More importantly, it's not like anybody's there. It's not like we were covering Gone in 60 Seconds. We're like, why? Like, I swear it's like they're just bringing in people at the end, you know, out of nowhere and shit. But you know, and fucking, it's so cool seeing the road that this movie took down of getting made, and it took them so long, and it got canceled, and they brought it back, and all this other stuff that, like, I'm so glad it's out there now. And especially once this happened, it was such a huge movie when it came out. They made, like, I think box office wise, they made close to 30 million off of like an almost $1 million budget. Like, I mean, compared to that, it's a huge success. So I'm, you know, it, like you said, it kind of sucks the way that Guy Ritchie went. I haven't seen a lot of his movies. I mean, I like Sherlock Holmes. I haven't seen like Revolver. I haven't really seen, you know, Aladdin. I haven't seen a lot of that shit.
Check out The Man from U.N.C.L.E. I think it's super kind of like underrated and underseen. Like it's
is that Cavill?
Yeah, Henry Cavill and goddamn Armie Hammer, and Alicia Vikander as well. Like it's pretty solid, man.
That would be a good Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman. Like Armie Hammer, especially Superman and George Miller's thing, and I was like, oh, that's cool. But I mean, I really, really love this movie, and I will probably watch it again very soon. I really miss watching movies like this, of like something about England in the 90s, like late 90s seems so interesting. And like, if I could ever step into any time and live, I would say like Japan in the early 2000s or like England in the mid to late 90s just seems so fucking cool to me. I don't know why, just from film and television that I've seen. I know that's so random. But you know, it's not like I watch Stranger Things and want to hang out in Hawkins, Indiana in the 80s. Like, who the fuck wants to hang out there? Like, I want to go do Blow with Bowie at Studio 54. Like, get out of here. But I mean, that's fucking Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. I mean, we pretty much both said our final thoughts. You want to get out of here?
Yeah, let's get out of here, man. Let's plug some shit and get out of here.
Okay, awesome. Guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us till the end. We hope you enjoyed this feature presentation of Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. Again, if you want to find us anywhere, you can find us on Facebook at Midnight Double Feature. We also have the group attached to that called the After Party. You can find us on Twitter at MBFPod or Instagram at Midnight Double Feature. Shoot us an email, midnightdoublefeature@gmail.com, or you can find us on our website, midnightdoublefeature.com. We do have our Patreons, $5 for everybody. There's no, you know, different stuff. There's no different tiers. You get $5. Everybody gets the same thing. And again, that is patreon.com/Midnight Double Feature. And if for whatever reason you can't find any of this stuff, you can always go to our main hub, our Batcave as it is, midnightdoublefeature.com. I am Colin. That has been Zoheb. We really appreciate you guys listening, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.